Hello and welcome to the Omni Coalition. Not the Omni Coalition. Welcome to This Date in History. Wow, I'm still waking up. I woke up a half hour ago. I'm sorry.
Actually,
Uh,
no. This sounds good. The
yeah.
Omni Coalition presents on this day in history.
All right. Omni Coalition presents This Date in History. Good.
It sounded cool though. You made it sound more cooler.
Accidentally. That's when I
Hey,
come up with the best stuff when I screw up. Anyway,
huh,
this show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the smart device application Today in History. What happened today in history?
historical calendar and on this website on thisday.com.
Yep. For links to those sources, the music, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, I am Mayo Xander,
Sheldon.
and today is Saturn's Day, also known as Saturday, November 5th, 2022. Oh, oh. Remember the 5th of November? Are we
As
here already?
today.
Today's gonna be big. Here we go.
Also, before we get to that, 1228, Khan, a collection of 48 Zen cones piled in China.
What's a cone? Like, what's a Zen cone?
What's a Wumi cone?
What's a Zen cones? A cone, here we go. A cone is a story, dialogue, question, or statement which is used in Zen practice to provoke the great doubt and to practice or test a student's progress in Zen. Well, that's interesting. I'm going to add this wiki to the underbar, like right off of the shoot. First article of the day, and we have a Wikipedia link. That is phenomenal, actually. Part of a
Wow.
series of Buddhism, so yeah. Anyway.
So, in 1492, Christopher Columbus learns how to grow and harvest maize, aka corn, from Cuba's indigenous population.
Yep.
He's
Corn.
lucky. He is lucky
Yeah.
because Cuba learned something else later on in the future called fascism.
A little funny that he was Italian too, right?
Yeah,
He was Italian, right? Yeah, he
he was.
was.
I think he was Spanish.
Well, no, he was Italian. He's
Okay.
he sailed for the Spanish, but he was Italian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, 1500, 6th November, astronomer Paul Pernerius observes a lunar eclipse in Rome.
Copernicus.
Copernicus.
I know you've heard that name. You must have.
Yeah,
So,
Copernicus.
that's pretty cool.
Children.
Yep. Moving on up into 1556, Akbar, 14, I guess at the age of 14, succeeded his father Humayun as Sultan of Delhi. Huh.
Delhi.
Delhi. I can use a deli sandwich right now. That sounds pretty good. You know, give me some salami, some provolone, prosciutto. So, anyway, moving on up into 1572, Danish astronomer Tycho Branch observed a new star, which was a supernova, with the naked eye in the Cassiopeia constellation, proving objects
Wow.
changed in world beyond the moon and making his reputation. Wow. So yeah, up until then, there was no proof that anything outside of this world and maybe the moon like actually ever did anything. They believed everything was just stagnant. That's how it was. It always has been. It always shall be. But nope. And, ooh, what is this? 16. Oh, I was just talking about this. 1605. Gunpowder plot. Catholic conspirator Guy Fawkes attempted to blow up King James I and the British Parliament. The plot was discovered. Guy Fawkes was caught, tortured, and later executed along with 7 others. Celebrated ever since as Guy Fawkes Day, where his effigy is traditionally burned on a bonfire, accompanied by fireworks. It's really sad that Muffin isn't here right now. Remember the 5th of November. Are you aware of the gunpowder plot? We literally just read about it.
Can you reread it?
All right. Before I do, introduce yourself.
Golden Moon.
You're just covered in blankets today.
It's cold as crowd in here.
Get a heavier robe.
Well, that's a thought.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to repeat myself, so pardon me, audience. 1605. Gunpowder plot. Catholic conspirator Guy Fawkes attempts to blow up King James I and the British Parliament. The plot was discovered. Guy Fawkes was caught, tortured, and later executed along with 7 others. This has been celebrated ever since his Guy Fawkes Day, where his effigy is traditionally burned on a bonfire, accompanied by fireworks. And you know this in a certain way. Guy Fawkes. Anonymous.
Ah.
Do you recognize this?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his actual face. Like, that's, the face of the Anonymous mask
Yeah.
is modeled after his face.
Oh.
And they
Not
actually...
just,
I'm sorry, Soen?
not just an anonymous. The government to use his image.
Mm-hmm.
There are many assholes who want to wear it just to be dicks.
Yep. Yeah, internet culture has dictated it such a thing. But yeah, but this is Guy Fawkes right here.
Okay.
So, but like, the whole Anonymous thing, is stemmed off of this gunpowder plot.
Ah.
Yeah, tried to blow up the British Parliament, 1605, that's a lot farther away than I thought. I thought it was like the 1800s, but holy crap. But then I'm going to move on up here to 1740. The third volume of philosopher David Hume's seminal work, A Treatise of Human Nature, was published by Thomas Longman. Alright. This guy kind of looks like Muffin. Huh.
Really? Yeah.
Anyway, it's your turn, sir.
1773, John Hancock is elected as moderator at the Boston town meeting that resolves that anyone who supports the Tea Act is an enemy to America.
Yep. The Tea Act, of course, being the taxation without representation and all that stuff. And something interesting about the Boston Tea Party. Remember how they were just throwing the crates in there?
Yeah.
It's not like bags of tea like we know today.
No.
They're actually compressed, highly concentrated, bricks of tea.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they threw the equivalent of several $1 million worth of tea, in today's money.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's kind of John Hancock's now known for his signature on the Constitution.
He was the first one to sign, actually.
With a big So give me your John Hancock is kind of a term now. I don't know. It's an old term.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, but you never hear about William Foot Penis.
Ah. You get it? Hancock, foot penis. I think you broke the dad here.
Yeah.
No, it's John Foot Penis. It's Hancock now.
Ah.
Okay. Now I got 2 more. 1846. No, 1838. Honduras declares independence from Central America Federation.
Huh. So that's interesting. The Central American Federation. What was that? Let me look it up. And I was looking at something under here.
Independence, huh?
Yeah, I saw something in 1781. That looked interesting as well. But let's see here. Central American Federation. What was that? Federal Republic of Central America. Here we go. So, founded in 1823. It's also called the United Provinces of Central America, or just Central America. In its first year of creation, was a sovereign state in Central America that consisted of the territories of the former Captaincy General of Guatemala of New Spain. Huh.
So that answers my question. It was a governance.
A governments, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Mexico, Central America, South America, all that stuff, is always been. It's still kind of in the heaves of the wake of all of this, but all of the colonialism from Europe, especially from Spain, and all that stuff, because they came in and they conquered Central and South America and all that stuff, killed all those Mayans and Aztecs and Incas and all that stuff. Anyway, go ahead, Sohen.
Was there something you said you caught your eye up above?
1781, John Hanson elected first president of the U.S. in Congress assemble.
Huh. And that's in quotation, so what does that mean? And he just read it, by the way. President of U.S. in Congress assembled. But he was elected the first president of U.S. in Congress assembled. I guess he was the first president of the Congress that was assembled? I don't know. That is 1781.
Says, but, yeah.
Yeah, that's during, this is after the revolution, but before we formed as a nation. So maybe this was one of those, governments that didn't last, that eventually became the United States. Because there are several presidents of America George Washington is the first president of the United States,
Yeah.
but there have been other presidents of the fledgling country trying to form before that. There's like 4 or 5 some odd other people who were, when they were still trying to form a government, and they're like, they tried it out for a couple months. They're like, nah, let's try something else. And then because remember the whole 10-year period when we were trying to figure out what we want to do.
Yeah.
So, like we unified, we disbanded, we unified, we disbanded, we unified, disbanded. And eventually it stuck with the U.S., with Washington. But before that, it was like breathing. Exhale, inhale, back and forth for a while. As you said,
I'm not aware of this. This is
very
something new to
close.
me.
Well, no, this is from what you've told me yourself. Very close to becoming independent city-states.
Oh yeah, colonies.
Yes.
Yeah, and the concern of the colonists that wanted to separate was that the federal government become too powerful. Hello.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We're living in a validation of that fear. So, but yeah, that's what I believe this might, be, but I may be wrong. I'm not the smartest light bulb in the drawer, so I don't know. That's just what it sounds to me. So.
Well, I'm on board with it. I guess I'm unaware.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'll just look this up actually, really quick. Congress. Okay, this is just telling me about censuses and yeah. Okay. Was John Hanson the first president of the United States? And so on November 5th, 1781, as his first action, the new government, including some of the greatest Americans to ever serve, unanimously elected John Hanson as their nation's first president. That's what I was saying.
Okay.
So he was president of what would become the United States.
Yeah.
This was the highest position in the land, as nationhood was thus completed and the Second Continental Congress passed into history. So, as I was saying, they formed a federal, then they disbanded. They're like, we don't like it. Yeah, let's try it again. Yeah, and then eventually, it stuck with, what we have today. So, I think, though, maybe we would have been better off if we had been kept separate. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Well, if we'd followed the guidelines of the Constitution and, left the true power in the states with a federal government as overlord.
Not overlord, but oversight.
Oversight, yeah, for protection and whatnot. That's basically the whole point of the government, is to protect us all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Honestly, if we were to follow the guidelines of the Constitution, many people have to turn themselves in for violation of that Constitution.
True.
Yeah, I was talking with. I'm sorry for rambling on about this, but I was chatting about this actually with Speedweed last night.
Mm-hmm.
The brother of the guy from the Y-Files and all that
stuff.
We haven't done anything to change the Constitution. It's been 300 years, and we just put in amendment after amendment. We never took anything old out. We just keep adding more stuff in. So we do need a whole refresh. With modern, modern issues being, the STEM, not because in the Constitution, blacks are still 3/5 of a human, women still don't. Yeah,
no, they're not.
In one of those, one of these legal documents.
No, the 3/5 was a bill. It never passed. It never became law. It was a bill, a 3/5 bill.
I need to learn.
All men are created equal.
Yeah, but they didn't view blacks as men back then. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's where the problem came.
Yeah.
That's where the 3/5 bill came from.
Mm-hmm.
They said, well, because now they're quoting back to, well, they're not really full humans. They're only 3/5. So they tried to pass that bill, and it came close to passing, believe it or not.
That's not good.
But the thing with the Constitution, it's living and breathing, and it adapts. Now it couldn't foresee what we have today, but. No, if we had states with the power, and we could choose freedom to move wherever we want, it's truly powerful.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the federal government's just become way too big.
Mm-hmm.
Way too big.
Yep.
And that's the problem with power.
Mm-hmm.
You just take it and want more.
Yeah, absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yep. Anyways, ramble.
Anyway, let's move on up here to 1846. Go ahead, Sohan. Sorry, we kind of went way off on a tangent there.
No problem. Also, 1846, Robert Schumann Second Symphony in C premieres.
All right. Pretty cool.
I don't know what that means, but I'm not a music guy. I know what it means, but I don't know.
You know what C means, right?
Yeah. I know what it means, but I don't know the tone.
Yeah, neither do I. And uno mas, Sir Sohen.
Yes. Also, 1862, Ambrose Burnside replaced McLaren as head of the Army of Potomac.
Yeah, the Potomac.
Tommy.
Burnside, which, yes, that's where the term sideburns come from.
Yeah.
Because of this guy.
I remember we had that
Yeah,
once before.
big old, yeah.
I learned that from your show.
Yeah. Moving on up into 1872, American women's right to vote was advocated by Susan B. Anthony, voted for Ulysses S. Grant. Oh, the advocate.
Hey.
Susan. So it's, oh, yeah, that's right. So Anthony voted for Grant, huh? That's interesting.
I find it funny.
What?
American women's rights advocate Susan B. Anthony votes Republican.
Ha! 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 Oh my God! I never thought of that. Grant was Republican, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are we sure he wasn't
her
part of like,
choice?
the Bull Moose Party or something?
Her choice was fucking Republican.
You're right. He was a Republican. So that's pretty interesting. The first female U.S. vote, as far as on the documentation is concerned, the first vote from a woman in this country is for a right winger. Look at
A
that.
fucking Republican.
There is hope for us after all.
Yeah. And there he is.
Yep. And 1872, at that same time, Ulysses S. Grant was reelected as president. Thank you, Miss Anthony. Every vote matters.
Yo, imagine the third wave fucking finding that shit out.
Oh, yeah, everything they base their entire world off of is completely opposed to what they believe. How's that for a kick in the head? And 1 year later, in 1873... What's up?
And in the kick in the nuts.
Yeah, well, they don't have those. Unless they're holding their boy toys ones in their purse, then they have them, I guess. Anyway, 1 year later, 1873, due to the fallout from the Pacific scandal, John A. Macdonald resigned as Prime Minister of Canada. What is the Pacific scandal? Pacific Scandal, Canada. Let's see here. Why? There we go. Pacific Scandal, Canada. It was a political scandal in Canada involving bribes being accepted by 150 members of the Conservative government in the attempts of private interests to influence the bidding for a national rail contract. Well, that just kind of screws all of our championing of the Conservative Party out the window. Then again, that's another country, so it still doesn't matter, I mean, it's from your people,
Thanks for bringing that up.
Hey,
You don't say it on the good things, do you?
hey, who left their country and is now in mine? No. I mean, granted, you did it as a kid, but still, you never went back, did you? I'm glad you stayed.
I'm leaving tomorrow.
Yeah, you have to get poked to cross the border. I think still mandated.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
God, I'm staying.
Trapped, all mine. Anyway, Mr. Sohan, I believe it is now your turn.
Yeah, okay. Also, 1876, Henry Morgan Stanley expedition leaves Yangwei.
Huh. That's an interesting name. Adding this Wikipedia link really quick. Nyangwe. Oh, where the hell is that? Let me look this up here. Nyangwe map. Let's see.
Africa or something like that.
Central Africa. Yeah, you're right. I just see it right here on the map, just right here in the dead center of Africa. Huh. Well, alright then. The more you know.
1894, Richard Strauss poem Till Eulenspiegel premieres.
That's an interesting name, Eulenspiegel. Alright.
Mm-hmm. Also,
1895.
The first U.S. patent for auto, George B. Slender for gasoline-driven car.
Hey, look at that. First U.S. patent granted for auto, specifically. So, it's not the first U.S. patent, but it's the first one for automobiles, specifically for the gas-driven car, awarded to George B. Sheldon.
I think we would have heard of him before.
Maybe.
I mean, the auto industry is such a history here. Apparently, didn't do a whole lot with it.
Apparently. I mean, like, look what happened. Chicago used to be, the automaker of the world.
Detroit.
Now look at Detroit. Sorry,
Yeah.
Detroit. Yeah, and now look at them.
Yeah.
Yep. But in 1895, you did another one here right before the theater premiere.
1985, U.S. state Utah accepts female suffrage.
Yep, the right to vote. Talking about Susan B. Anthony and all that stuff earlier.
Wow. Also, 1985,
1985.
1895. Edward, Prince of Wales said we are all socialists nowadays.
I'm not. So maybe back then they were, but
Yeah.
been a long time since then. And then we got a theater premiere here in 1898. Gerhard Hauptmann's play Fuhrmann Henschel premiered in Berlin. Okay, this guy looks like a wild man. So, in 1900, U.S. Or under U.S. military control since the end of the Spanish-American War in 1898, so 2 years, Cuba now calls its own constitutional government. Okay. Oh, look at the Rough Riders. Good old Teddy right there, Roosevelt.
So go back to this one again. This is. It is Cuba. Okay.
Yeah, Cuba now calls its own constitutional convention. So they're trying to create their own constitution, make their own, because they were, as I was talking about earlier, a protectorate of Spain.
Yeah.
One of their, things. So they're molding into their own country, essentially. But moving on up here, in the 1912, Democrat candidate Woodrow Wilson was elected President of the United States, defeating Republican incumbent William Howard Taft and progressive candidate Theodore Roosevelt. Wow. Gotta be some, big mover and shaker to be that guy,
Yeah.
You're gonna say something, Sohan?
You said electric.
Electric? Okay.
It sounded like electric. That's what it sounded like you said.
Oh. Okay. Anyway, your turn, sir. Look at these mustaches.
Wow.
1916, Emperors Wilhelm II and Franz Joseph I Austria-Hungary establishes the Kingdom of Poland.
All right.
In
That's
1916, they established the Kingdom of Poland.
so. That's during the war. The war is going on.
Yes, you're right.
It's the first one. Yeah. So that's Germany and Austria-Hungary, the Austro-Hungarian Empire.
Yeah.
Huh. So that's interesting. So Poland came out of that. Like, I saw a video years ago.
interesting.
Yeah. I saw a video years ago that went through the history of Europe and everything, and countries come and go in the heartbeat. It's crazy over there. Like, the border history of Europe and everything, how things shift, how things move, entire nations form, they collapse, they get conquered, they get created, look at the Ottomans.
Yeah.
Now they're just Turkey. So, but yeah, it's fascinating when you just sit back with some popcorn like you're God and just watching all the history play out in front of you.
It used to have a perfect name, Constantinople.
Yes. And now it's just Istanbul. Blech. It's a boring name.
Istanbul.
Istanbul shit.
Like it.
God.
Constantinople. It has noble in its name. You just tip your hat, to the city. Oh.
Wow.
Anyway, go ahead, Sohen.
Yeah. 1925, Mussolini disbands Italian socialist parties.
Huh.
Kinda cool, but you're still a fascist dick.
Yep. Well, I mean, Mussolini and especially Hitler, they hated the communists. They hated socialism, Marxism, all that stuff. Because the fascism, was that's a lot of people don't realize. Fascism and communism hate each other, hate. So all these people going around in today's world, oh, communism, fascism, this, that, all these labels being thrown around in the mud pit that is today's political theater anymore these days. They don't even really know what the words are anymore. Everything's interchangeable. You don't know the actual, the fact that, communism and fascism, they don't work together,
Unfortunately, I think our education's taught people to regurgitate.
Yeah, it has.
Hey, speaking of which, This is scene. No, this is a scene from a movie. Ashes. Egg
What?
from
We
from
lost you.
Hot Fuzz.
Oh, Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
It's pretty good. It's from the people who made Shaun of the Dead.
Well, no, I've seen. I'm trying to think of the scene you're talking about. I remember the movie.
No, when she's doing the corporal puzzle, she says fascist.
Oh yeah,
Excuse me.
and he's like, yeah. Then he's like hag, and then at the end they did that bit again. That's right, when she was doing the crossword puzzle.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. When he's going back to the town, fascist. Egg.
Hag. Anyway, what happened in 1927?
In 1927, the PGA Championship Men's Golf Cedar Crest Country Club defending champion Walter Hagen beats Joe Turnzia 1-up to win his fourth straight PGA title.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fourth straight. That's an
Yeah.
accomplishment.
Yeah, not just his fourth, but his fourth consecutive.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Ooh, here we go.
1930 Third Academy Awards, All Quiet on the Western Front. George Arliss Disraeli and Norma Shearer, the divorcee, win.
Yeah. I saw a video talking about All Quiet on the Western Front being one of the most disturbing black and white movies ever made. I have got to see it. You know, people are shocked when I say I haven't watched it. Being the history buff, the war fanatic I am. You know. Anyway, 1932, Benito Mussolini freed 16,000 convicts. That sounds very familiar. Almost like he's trying to cause, general discourse in his country in order to get votes, get support. You know? Huh. Sounds like a playbook right out of something we did, huh?
Yeah, could be.
Actually, no, something he did, we just copied him.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
In 1936, French writer André Gide criticized Soviet regime. I'm not sure if the microphone's been picking you up this whole time. I think it has.
Don't know.
And 1
I
year later,
wonder when he. I wonder what kind of gift he got. That
what kind of gift he got? Oh,
the gift of Gulag.
oh yeah. Well, I mean, he's safely in France, so I mean, Germany's in between France and Russia. So there's that, as well as a couple other, states like Czechoslovakia and stuff. Anyway, 1 year later, 1937, Adolf Hitler informed his military leaders in a secret meeting of his intentions of going to war. 1937.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 2 years prior, because they invaded on September 1st, 1939, I believe, is when they start the thing officially started. First, combat action invasion of Poland. So.
It was 39? I thought it was earlier than that, but you know better than I do.
No, let's see here. Start of World War II. September 1st, 1939 through September 2nd, 1945.
Yeah.
So,
Dead on.
Skipping a day, 6-year-long war to the day.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Well, not cool,
Yeah.
but interesting. Like, same thing with
Yeah.
World War One.
Yeah.
World War One started and ended on the same calendar date.
I knew that somewhere.
Yeah. And that has got to be intentional, like, it's like, oh, hey, let's just, end at this time, so, and actually, we were a little late with World War II because, Japan was being a little annoying signing the armistice and all that stuff, but they were getting under pressure from the Soviet Union, so they're just like, screw it, let's just get this over with, because it's better to be occupied by us than by the Ruskies,
True. Very true.
Mm-hmm.
But World War II is really an extension of World War One when you get right down to it.
It is. Especially because of, Hitler, who had fought in the First World War.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I'm not going to get into it.
No.
The
No.
two-front war and all that stuff. Oh, God. Anyway, Mr. Sohan, you got an election of interest here in 1940.
1940, Franklin D. Roosevelt is re-elected president of the United States for an unprecedented third term, defeating Republican candidate Wendell Willkie.
All right. And he went on to have a fourth term as well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Also in 1940, Walter Johnson won 416 games for Washington Senators lose Maryland congressional race Republican.
Yeah. So a baseball guy was getting into politics.
What a
Oh,
shock!
he won 416 games, but he lost the congressional race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was a
Oh,
pitcher,
yeah.
so. But like,
Yeah,
see,
well,
that's his problem. He's a pitcher. If you want to work in politics, you got to be a catcher. If you know the analogy.
yeah.
Don't
Also,
you have to pitch it? Don't you have to
19.
make pitches for your election?
Yeah, but that's not where I was going.
Ah,
If you
A
don't get
day
it, I'm
that
not
will
going to
live.
explain it.
no. Let's let it go.
Wow, something
Right
I
over
know.
my head.
Yeah.
Right over my head.
Anyway, go ahead, Sohen.
Also, 1941, in a day that will live in infamy.
No, not yet.
Japan, Japanese naval staff officers Suzuki and Miyajima leave Pearl Harbor.
Yep. They're spying essentially on
Yeah.
behalf of the Japanese Navy.
Oh
So-
yeah, they're spying big. They already
Yeah.
mapped the whole thing out.
This is why I say, and it's gross. I admit it's a horrible thing to stand by, but what we did to the Japanese so bad at the time, we had no other choice, and it's a rough decision we have to make. Do we give their freedoms and sacrifice our own, or ensure our safety and just keep them in a box for a little while until we figure everything out? I'd rather keep them in a box for a while until we figure anything out, because if we just let them run amok, who knows what they'd be going around, bombing stuff going to there was a plot on the East Coast by the Germans. They were just going to throw sand into these power plants, these generators under the Grand Central Station, which powered the entire rail line of the whole East Coast. And just a handful of sand shuts that whole thing down. Our war effort stops. So, yeah, it's insane. Some things were just dangling by a thread. So, that's why I say, as awful as it is, with looking at it through the lenses of the time, what we did with the Japanese internment, now I agree, that it was bad, and I agree that we should have been doing that to the Germans as well. So, why did we only do it to the Japanese? I don't know, but it was a necessary evil to do for national security. So, I'm sorry. So,
I have a hard time swallowing that one. But
we should have done it to the Germans as well. To be honest, if I'm not gonna pull any punches. We should have done that to the Germans as well. Just arrested them on site, put them into camps until we figured everything out. So anyway, moving on up in another election here in 1946 for you.
1946, John F. Kennedy, Democrat, Massachusetts, elected to U.S. House of Representatives.
I always thought he was a Republican.
No,
Oh.
no. The Kennedys? No.
He
I'll tell
was
you
the
what,
best.
The Democratic Party today needs a John F. Kennedy desperately,
Yeah.
but they'd probably run him out.
Or they probably just
No,
shoot him
DFK
in
him.
Texas.
Huh?
They probably just remove him in Texas.
Oh, boo.
Oh, that sounds familiar. What's up, Sohan?
He also JFK him.
Yeah. That's what I just said. Wow, that's kind of mind-blowing. Anyway, 1950, the Philippines President Epidio Quirino ended emergency crisis. Okay, that has to do something involving the war, I assume, but that's a while after. But I don't know, maybe there's something going on. Then 3 years later, 1953, the film How to Marry a Millionaire, directed by Jean Negoljsko, starring Lauren Bacall, Betty Grable, and Marilyn Monroe, first to be filmed in CinemaScope, release delayed to allow The Robe to debut the format. Wow, How to Marry a Millionaire. That is so sexist against men right there.
Marry a millionaire easy. Marry a billionaire.
Yeah. I was about to say the joke, but yeah. About,
Well, I'm working on my second million. I gave up trying to get to the first.
That's a good one. And 1953 as well, Terence Rattigan's Sleeping Prince premiered in London. Okay. All right, and then you got some sports history here, Sohan.
Sports history, 1954, Montreal Canadian center John Bevelou scores 3 goals in 44 seconds on future Hall of Fame goaltender Terry Sawchuk. 4-2 win versus Boston Bruins. Second fastest NHL hat trick.
Huh. All right.
Hat tricks, 3 goals in a game.
Huh. I wonder, like.
Also,
Go
ooh,
ahead.
1956, the Nat King Cole Show debuts on NBC, the first variety program to be hosted by an African American.
All right. I wonder though, did he have dual citizenship, or is this just a politically correct term? Probably politically correct, but
Yeah.
that's
probably so.
that's cool. The first variety program to be hosted by a black U.S. citizen or
Yeah.
a U.S. citizen. Not the first one then, but
What a great voice, though.
wow.
Guy could sing.
Yeah.
Also, 1956, Pope Pius the 12th publishes Encyclopedia Neprim.
Let's see here. In the encyclical letter which we recently wrote you, okay, blah blah. That, okay, here it is. I found the actual wiki. Oh, that's not a wiki. Huh. Okay, well, here it is. Dated the Soviet invasion of Hungary to suppress the Hungarian Revolution of 1956. This is a second encyclical protesting the oppression of the Hungarian people. Pope Pius, as in his previous protests, does not mention the Soviet Union by name. So he fears the Soviet Union, but he's still trying to speak out against it. So he's trying to do something. But, that should be saying something. When a man who speaks on behalf of God fears your country, your politics, more than the Lord above, then there's something wrong with you. So, yeah. Anyway, let's see here. You have Uno Mas, 1961.
Okay. 1961, Indian Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru arrives in New York.
All right. First Prime Minister of India. All right. That's because India, as we've talked about, it wasn't the nation until the 50s, mid 50s. It was the British Raj until after World War II, and on the treaty they had to give away all their land, all that stuff. 1963, U.S. Vice President Lyndon B. Johnson visited the Netherlands. Huh. Okay.
Oh, nice.
1965, Pierrot Le Feu, directed by Jean-Luc Godard. I swear I was going to say Picard. Starring Jean-Paul Belmondo and Anna Karina, was released. All right. And we got some more music history right here. 1967, the Hither Green rail crash in the United Kingdom killed 49 people. The survivors included B.G. Robin Gibb. Oh, the Bee Gees.
Yeah.
Yep. Look at those glasses, man.
Yeah.
So, anyway, right back to Sohan. I go by fast.
When
1968.
1968, first American League pitcher to win MVP, Dennis McLain, wins unanimously.
All right.
Good. Also in 1968, Republican candidate Richard Nixon elected President of the United States, defeating Democrat candidate Herbert Humphrey and independent candidate George Wallace.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. No way that other guy would have won.
Yeah. I'm
Also,
surprised they even mentioned him, honestly. So.
1974, Dmitry Shostakovich competes Michelangelo's songs.
All right. I swear we've talked about this guy at least once every day for the past week. Like, what is going on with this dude? Like, you remember him from last weekend?
I don't.
Or I swear we talked about him on Monday too.
Dmitry, just not memorable.
Shostakovich. Let's just take a look at all the articles. Wow, look at all the articles he has. This is everything that. Oh God! Whoa! Holy crap, dude! This is everything that's documented.
Posted.
Yeah, look at all this.
Jeez.
He was a busy man. At the age of 68, he got all of this. This is all the stuff just on paper. That's a lot of shit. This guy was busy. Holy crap. Anyway, moving on up into 1976. Baltimore Orioles Jim Palmer won American League Cy Young Award. 1978, Iranian Prime Minister Jafar, not good, Sharif Imani resigned to Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. We all know who Jafar was, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, from Aladdin,
Oh,
the evil.
Nasir.
Yeah,
well, he was the last Shah of Iran there.
yeah. And then in 1978 as well, Khomeini, Khomeini followers attacked British embassy / El Al office in Iran. Huh.
They're the ones that took over. That's the what do you call it?
Mohazid?
The Hayatollah.
Oh, Ayatollah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Khomeini.
his name is Cunt.
Huh.
Yeah, there it is. Ayatollah
Ayatollah Khomeini. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ayatollah Khomeini,
Remember
also
when
known
they
as
invaded
Cunt.
the U.S. embassy and captured all those people and kept them till Carter was out of office and Reagan came in and they released them.
Huh.
They kept them for close to a year, I think.
Yeah, is that the Iranian hostage crisis?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because we spoke about that yesterday's show.
Oh,
That's when
okay.
it started yesterday.
Oh, okay.
When they captured like 90 people and kept them for like 400 some odd days or something crazy. Yeah.
So over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well
Oh,
over a year.
welcome.
Oh, welcome, Bleach. Mr. Snowhand, 1978.
Yep, 1978. Oakland Raiders John Madden becomes 13th coach to win 100 NFL games.
Football.
Thank you, coach.
Football boy.
What we do is we gotta make X's and O's and then we draw little lines on the circle and then touchdown.
Also, 1982, George Harrison releases Gone Trouble, his 10th solo album.
Wow. That's a lot of solo
That's
albums.
a bunch.
Yeah.
1985, CBS premieres Stone Pillow, a dramatic made-for-TV movie starring Lucille Ball as a homeless woman.
Wow. Lucille Ball, I Love Lucy.
Sure. Dramatic acting.
Huh. Dramatic. Pause. I am Calculon. You don't know who Calculon is, but
No.
those who do know, he's a silly bitch.
Also, 1987, Stephen Sondheim and James Lapine fairy tale musical Into the Woods opens at Martin Beck Theater, New York City, runs for 664 performances, wins 3 Tony Awards and 5 Drama Desk Awards.
You're off by 100. 764 performances. Normally I wouldn't correct you, but 100 is a lot of numbers, so just want to make sure, if anybody's just listening and not watching, 764 performances, that's a lot.
Yep.
I mean, so is 664, but still. Anyway, we got some more sports history here. I keep forgetting whose turn it is. So
Hey, you missed one. 1988, Kokomo single by the Beach Boys from the film Cocktail goes #1.
Where is that? 1988. Oh, here we go. Kokomo. Da, da, da. Now I gotta listen to that. Let's see. I got it queued up on my YouTubes over here in my other Kokomo. I've got to. There we go. All right. 1989, French McLaren driver Alain Prost withdrew earlier in West Australian Grand Prix in Adelaide, but won his third Formula One World Drivers' Championship, winning by 16 points from teammate Ayrton Senna. All right. 1989, revival of Bertolt Brecht and Kurt Weill's Three-Penny Opera opened at Luntfontein Theater, New York City, running for 65 performances. That's not a lot. So, I mean, it's decent, but not nearly as much as the last one.
No, not even close.
No. Then we got some more sports history here. 1992, revenge match of the 20th century. U.S. chess grandmaster Bobby Fischer defeated Russian Boris Spassky to win an unofficial match in Belgrade. Yep.
Yeah.
Dude,
Great chess player.
we fought the Russians literally everywhere.
Yeah.
Except for actual combat. But
Ooh.
we did that in Iran with, the Taliban and all that stuff. So, yeah. Go for it. So, it's your turn.
1994. Now remember, this is when he came out of retirement. George Foreman, 45 years old, kills Michael Moore to win boxing heavyweight championship.
Dang. This sweet
Yeah.
old butterball of a man knocked out this mountain. Like that's
Yeah,
frightening. Well,
he
Well, I
came
don't
out
think
of
they're the same
retirement.
time photos. They're different years, no doubt.
don't take the wind out of my sails.
That's the thing. He came out of retirement.
Yeah,
This
10 years older than I am right now.
And now he's selling grills.
Does he still do that? Though?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Fucking great.
There's one thing I do
Oh.
know: never go there and tell them it's a novelty grill. Don't pull a Hank Hill. That's not good.
No, don't call it a novelty girl while you're trying to attempt a peace broker.
Yep.
He tried calling off a fight from
Yeah.
his George Foreman's daughter.
Yep. An assassination attempt.
Yes, 1995, Andre Dallaire attempts to assassinate Canadian Prime Minister John Christian. He is thwarted when the PM's wife locks the door. Oh my god. Oh my
His
god.
wife is just like,
Canadians have their fucking doors unlocked.
Wow.
It's like, oh, good idea. Lock the door.
You'd think if you're going to kill someone, a locked door isn't going to stop you. But, I mean, I guess he just didn't have that. He just didn't have it in him, you know?
No.
One thing was dead, in that situation, and it was only the bolt. Deadbolt,
Yeah, got it.
Also, 1996, Bill Clinton is reelected President of the United States, defeating Republican candidate Bob Dole.
Bob Dole, Bob Dole, Bob Dole, Bob Dole.
What the hell is this?
Now you know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
In 1996 as well, Yankee shortstop Derek Jeter was the unanimous choice
Jeter.
as American League rookie. Jeter? You said?
Greg Jeter.
Derek Jeter, my apologies, is the unanimous choice as American League Rookie of the Year. Huh. And 1 year later, in 1997, French court ordered producer Joaquin Carter, the ex-husband of Brigitte Bardot, to pay the former screen star $8,300 in damages. Huh, I wonder why. That's interesting. And then before we move on into the year 2000, I'm going to do the split here as soon as I find my program. There it is. Alright. Welcome to part 2. In the year 2000, Ethiopian Emperor Haile Selassie was laid to rest 25 years after his death after a funeral procession through Addis Ababa. Huh. Alright. And your turn, sir.
Yes. 2003, 37th Country Music Association Award, Alan Jackson and Martina McBride win.
Alright.
Also in 2006, Saddam Hussein, former president of Iraq, and his co-defendants Arzan Abram al-Takiriti and Arad Hamad al-Bandar are sentenced to death in the Al-Jail trial for the role of the massacre of the 148 Shias in 1982.
Dang, it took over 20 years for justice to get him, but it got him,
Yeah.
after we got him twice. So, they found him hidden in a spider hole, like the coward he really is. So,
Yeah.
yep. Yeah, I remember, we got him, when they did that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Also, 2010, Al Weiwei is reportedly placed under house arrest by Chinese authorities because of a planned party to mark the demolition of his new studio in Shanghai.
Dang. That sucks. So the Chinese just, held him down so he wouldn't do anything. I swear, there was this guy in Three Ninjas. Three Ninjas. I think he was, the big bad guy, right?
Think so.
Let's see here. Yeah, this guy. I think... I don't know.
Also,
Go for it.
also in 2000, let me see. Also in 2012, 50 Syrian military personnel are killed by a suicide car bomb in Hama.
Hey, 50. Damn. 50.
That's a lot.
Jesus. Wow. 2012 as well, widespread flooding in Nigeria caused the deaths of 363 people and displaced 2.1 million.
Wow.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And we got some music awards here. 2014, the 48th CMT, Country Music Television Music Awards. Luke Bryan, Blake Shelton, and Miranda Lambert won. All right. But then I accidentally skipped over here. 2013, 4 people were killed after a 4-story building under construction collapsed in Lagos, Nigeria. Not good. So, and someone has another historic event here in 2014.
Yes. 2014, New Zealand Prime Minister John Key rules out sending troops to fight against Islamic State but claims there are 40 New Zealanders on terror watch list.
Oh, what? 40 New Zealanders, like that's like 80% of their population. I mean, hell, like New Zealand's like, New Zealand really gets the bad end of the stick. Like they don't even appear on maps sometimes.
What?
Yeah, seriously. If you go to any place, like like if you go to like an airport or whatever, you see a mural of a map.
Yeah.
Look for New Zealand. Like 3 times out of 5, it's not going to be there.
What?
Yeah, it's actually a whole thing. Like, I don't remember who it was, but somebody like did a whole bunch of map stuff on YouTube. Like as far as like cartography maps and everything. And they pointed it out. Like it's actually a meme. Like oh, like is New Zealand on this map? Like.
Oh, that's funny.
Actually, yeah. Let's see here. New Zealand not on map. Let's see here. Yeah. So like right here. Here's a map. It's not there. Where is it?
Okay.
Like, here's a, right here. They just overlapped it with a clock. New Zealand doesn't exist. Right here.
Forgot about poor old New Zealand, huh?
New Zealand is not here. Right here. Where's New Zealand? They just cut it off. Like.
Was it just too small? Is that what they're doing? Like Hawaii wouldn't be on a map on many maps. It's just too small.
There it is.
Okay. Is New Zealand on that map?
Yeah, no, it's right here. It's on this map, right there.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, but it's not there.
But that's what I'm saying. It might be just too small to pick up.
Maybe, but it should pick up here. Look at what they have here. The little dots. New Zealand's bigger than these.
Yeah.
Where is it? Australia. It's up here. What the hell? I guess this must have been continental drift here. So, and here we go again. On the Risk. On Risk itself, New Zealand is not on the map. Madagascar is.
Okay.
So, yeah. Anyway.
Also, 2015, Collins Dictionary names binge watch the word of the year, followed by transgender.
Oh no! I don't like that. I don't like that.
That just means the word's being used more. That's all.
Yeah. The world's turning into a society of consumerism. So.
Also, 2017, bodies of 26 migrant teenage girls discovered from the Mediterranean. Another 400 migrants rescued.
Oh wow! So the Mediterranean Sea. So there were 26 migrant teenage girls that had died en route, doing something like, they're refugees or whatever it is that they're doing. Their bodies were recovered in the Mediterranean Sea, with another 400 rescued. So it sounds like a Cuba type situation, but in Europe.
Yeah.
Because Cuba to Florida, and then the Mediterranean Sea. So probably from Syria to Italy or something. Syria is along the northern border of Africa, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Got another historic event here in 2017.
Yep. I was gonna give you that one and do 2017 Paradise Papers are leaked. 13.4 million documents from offshore investments are Appleby mentioned Queen Elizabeth and Wilbur Ross, U.S. Secretary of Commerce.
13.4 million documents from offshore investment firm. I did not realize there were that many documents on the earth, let alone from one place. 1 million documents times 13.4, that's insane. 2017 as well, U.S. President Donald Trump began a 12-day trip to Asia and Tokyo, Japan. All right.
Is that the trip he went on to Korea? And then on the fly, they got together with, what's his name, the North Korean?
Kim Jong-un?
Yeah, and stepped across and shook hands with him.
Now, here's something incredible, and it's incredible not for the reasons that you think. Because technically, the two Koreas, North and South, are still at war. Mm-hmm. Because we are allied with South Korea, we are still at war with North Korea. We're just in a ceasefire. Mm-hmm. So we are two technically warring nations. Now, you have Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump crossed over into their territory. Mm-hmm. They could have 100% justifiably just sniped him because it is the leader of a warring nation. And what better kill could you possibly ever ask for during a war than to lob off the enemy's head of state's head? All that tells me, it doesn't tell me that Donald Trump was that awesome. That tells me that is proof in the pudding that everybody's owned and controlled, by something behind. Everything's a giant stage show. And I know you're going to say, oh, this is getting into politics. No, it's getting into truth. Like, they were able to do that because their masters told them to. So, because think about it. North Korea, with how they are, why didn't they scoop off his head? Why didn't they do anything? Why couldn't they have Kim Jong-un come over here? If we are so star-spangled awesome, why do we have to go over there? Why couldn't we host them? Why do they have to host us? Something's not right about the whole situation. It's fishy. You know what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying. That's your thing, not mine.
Yeah. Well, you're from a different era, so. Anyway, 2018, NASA's Voyager 2 probe left the solar system, becoming the second human-made object to reach interstellar space. Look at that. Mm-hmm. 2018. And then 2018 as well, the Spice Girls announced a new tour without Posh Spice, Victoria Beckham. I guess she was just too prim and proper,
She was the second thing into outer stellar space.
Huh.
Still.
So she's gone.
Shout out to Ginger Spice for actually being named after a fucking spice.
Yeah, I know, right? And speaking of spicy people, this one's for you, Mr. Soen, 2019.
First, 2018 task force set up to identify and punish LGBT people in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania.
Tanzania. Weird. I think Tanzania is in Africa, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
Not cool, Tanzania.
Yeah, not cool. Like, I don't appreciate what the alphabet people are doing in my country, with all their politics and everything, but at the same time, I don't want to punish them just, for their beliefs.
Of course not.
So, but they want to punish me for mine. So at the end of the day, what's going to happen?
They want the tail to wag the dog.
Yeah.
So, 2019 actress Emma Watson interviewed in Vogue magazine says she is happy to be single. I call it being self-partnered, launching worldwide discussion on the term.
No, that just means she's too prude to put out. So. I mean, she is a British tart, So.
Ooh.
Oh wow, this happened today. This is news here. We're rolling
Holy
on in
shit.
the news. Go for it. Oh, there's a couple of actually. What the hell?
Same thing.
Oh yeah, hold on. Wait a minute. Let me read both of these. 2019, Chinese government set new rules for gaming for young people to try to curb gaming addiction, including maximum 90 minutes a day.
Yeah. Now, isn't it only like 90 minutes a week or something? I remember 1 year later or something, they limited it to only an hour or so a week. You remember that?
Yeah. Well, that's China, which honestly good for them because South Korea is illegal for you to be a certain age and play games after hours.
Ah. Well, I'm glad we don't have that, even though I don't really game anymore.
Yeah.
I want the freedom. So. Oh wow, it's already been a year since then. Look at this, Sohen, 2021.
Also, 2021, 8 people crushed to death and 13 hospitalized in a crowd surge during a Travis Scott performance at Astroworld Festival in Houston, Texas.
Dang, it's already been a year.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that like it was only a couple months ago. But that's damn. And I'm learning by the day what it's like to be getting older. Uh,
It's like you're saying he could have done something. What the fuck could he have done? Nothing
um,
really.
I,
Except for telling people to stop, how are you gonna tell a whole bunch of people running around stop?
well, when people climb onto ambulances and start twerking, something's got to happen. So
Granted, Linkin Park did stop a concert back in the day and told everybody to pick this one person up.
yeah, yep. Then in 2022, that's today. So this happened on today, to like not last year or anything. Now this happened
Yep.
like an hour ago. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees: Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo, Duran Duran, Eminem,
At Benatar.
Pat Benatar, sorry. Um, uh, Eurythmics, Dolly Parton, Lionel Richie, Carly Simon, Judas Priest, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, Harry Belafonte, Elizabeth Cotton, Alan Grubman, Jimmy Levine, and Sylvia Robinson. I believe all got, they're all inductees to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Why is Eminem in there? That's weird.
I don't know.
Huh.
NWA was in it.
Wow, that's weird.
But hey, they are pioneers. Gangster
Enough
rap.
rock and roll.
No, they are in a way. They're rebellious. They were rebellious in a way. So that is in a way a form of rock and roll.
That is the spirit of rock and roll, yes. The essence,
Yo, Era Mythics. They made that song "Sweet Dreams."
Huh.
You know that one, "Sweet Dreams" are made of this. Who am I to disagree?
hmm Now this is really weird. It's the same thing. Look,
Yeah.
literally exact same thing, the
Yeah.
same pictures,
Yeah.
and then they have it a fourth time non-highlighted. What the hell? What is going on with this source? Seriously.
They want you to fucking remember.
Well, I remember the 5th of November, but for different reasons. So, but anyway, what was your anything grabbed your attention more than most, Snowhead?
Another one with Mussolini.
Yeah. Just Mussolini? Like,
Yeah, the one about the socialists, getting rid of socialists.
yeah, oh yeah. Well, didn't Mussolini, he freed 16,000 convicts or something as well?
Also, yeah, that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. And then Columbus, learned how to grow corn, or maize. So, what about you? Any articles grabbed your attention more than most?
There was, and I'm trying to think of it. What did we go off on that was really amazing to me, and I can't even remember it. That's sad.
Well, World War. I think we were talking about World War II and stuff.
Well, there was Poland
Yeah.
that formed out of that whole thing.
Oh yeah,
What, 1916 or something?
1916. Yeah, that's right. They formed Poland, Germany,
Yeah.
and Austria-Hungary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was way later than I thought it would have been.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, audience? Anything grab your attention more than most? Anything that you wish we had expanded upon, talked more about, done some live research on? Anything that you know of that you'd like to add yourself? Start a comment in the comment section. Moving on into births, starting us off in the year 1271, we have Muhammad Ghazan, the 7th Mongol Empire ruler in Iran, born in Abuskan, Iran, dying in 1304. And then we have Benjamin Butler. Are you taking off?
Go ahead, finish,
Okay.
and then I am.
Benjamin Butler, 1818, American Major General for the Union Army, Governor of Massachusetts from 1883 to 1884, and U.S. presidential candidate for the Greenback anti-monopoly ticket, born in Deerfield, New Hampshire, dying in 1893.
Enjoy, and the Golden Luna's out.
All right, thank you for joining us. Mr.
Also,
Sohan.
also 1873, a flag Australian athlete, Olympic gold medal, 800 meter, 1500 meter, 1896, born in London, England.
Ah,
And 1885, William Durant, author and historian, the story of philosophy, the story of civilization, born in New Adams, Massachusetts.
Ah, Will Durant. That sounds like pardon me. That sounds like the name of a basketball player, Kevin Durant. So, who else was born on this day? Ooh, okay. Still your turn, right?
Yeah. 1913, Vivian Leigh, English actress, Gone with the Wind, A Streetcar Named Desire, born in Darangi, Bengal, Residence, India.
Huh. All right. And then we got, who do we got here? Scrolling, scrolling. Give me somebody. Come on. Oh, here we go. Bill Walton, speaking of basketball, 70 years old today. Wow. He was born on this date in 1952. He is a U.S. Basketball Hall of Fame center, NBA Championship 1977, as well as 86, NBA Finals MVP of 1977 for the Portland Trail Blazers, as well as the Boston Celtics. Born in La Mesa, California. Huh. And then
Oh.
Kris Jenner, 1995, a U.S. businesswoman and TV personality, keeping up with the Kardashians. Born in San Diego, California. Well, that explains why she's such trash, California. So, and Jenner.
Ni-
So,
1959, Bryan Adams, Canadian Juno and Grammy Award winning singer songwriter, Heaven, I Run to You, born in Kingston, Ontario.
huh, all right. Wow, look at
And,
that
oh,
donut.
awesome person. Awesome person. 1960, we have Tilda Swinton, British actress. We need to talk about Kevin and the Chronicles of Narnia, born in London, England.
Dude, look at that jelly roll she has going on right there. That is one hell of a jelly roll.
Tilda Swinton is a cool actress.
Never heard of her.
She played the White Witch.
Oh, okay. I was wondering who she was in the Narnia movies. So,
White
okay.
Witch.
She's a witch! Burn her! So, let's see. Here we go. Still your turn, right? I keep losing track. My brain's full of
Yeah,
holes
it's
today.
still my turn. Yes. 1974. Angela Gassel. German vocalist arch enemy born in Cologne, Germany.
Huh. Never heard of her.
She's awesome.
Hmm. Well, I bet you know of her. So you know a thing or two about entertainment. So 1984, we have Eliud Kipchoge, a Kenyan distance runner, Olympic gold marathon of 2016, the first under 2 minutes, or I guess 2 hours. Yeah, the first under 2 hours. 2 minutes, that's one hell of a fast Kenyan. Born in Kapiswea, Kenya. Alright. And we have Virat Kohli. I'm sorry? You're saying something?
I'm just stretching.
1988, we have Virat Kohli, Indian cricketer, star batsman, and captain of India, 2013 through current, born in Delhi, India. Huh. All right.
Also, 1992, Odell Beckham Jr., American NFL player, New York Giants, born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Hey, a Louisianian. Look at that. And you want to take this 2002?
And 2002, Polish, 685. Nali Samoan, New Zealand dance mixer and producer, Savage Love Lakes Siren Beat with Jason Derulo, born in Auckland, New Zealand.
All right. Well, happy birthday to all the birthdays. Moving on to the deaths, starting us off in the year 1370, we have Casimir III the Great, King of Poland, 1333 through 70, died at the age of 61.
Hmm?
Then we have James Clerk Maxwell, 1879, a Scottish physicist, speed of light, died of abdominal cancer at the age of 48. That sucks.
In 1930, we have Christian Erskine, Dutch physician and bacteriologist, Nobel Prize in Medicine 1929. Dies at 72.
Dang. That is a weird name. Eichmann? Eichmann? Oh no, that's not good.
Also, George McCowan, 1942. American father of music comedy Phantom President Give My Regards to Broadway. Dies of cancer at 64.
Dang. Then who else died on this day? René Goscinny, 1977, was a French cartoonist, asterisk, died of cardiac arrest or a heart attack during a routine stress test at 51. Wow.
What kind of fucking stress test was she doing? A Dark Souls edition?
Damn. Yeah, like what are you doing? You just like, you put your arm in like, that thing you at the pharmacy and then all of a sudden beep, like that's an awful way to die. Like but then oh god, here we go. Bülent Ecevit, 2006, four-term Turkish prime minister between 1974 and 2002, died at the age of 81. Huh. And unless there's any other ones you want to grab real quick.
2021. Rizard Sirek. Polish soccer midfielder, 23 caps, Bologna, Baden, RC Linz, dies at 82.
Huh. Alright, well, rest in peace to all those. And that will conclude the show today. Once again, you can check the underbar of the description for any links you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things OMNI Coalition, which in itself includes...
Show TV on Twitch.
Yep. For your dose of past events daily, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific time.
Off Central.
Yep. For all of us, I am Alexander.
Me.
And for a while we had the Golden Loon, aka Leave It To Me for Beat Cleaver. So anyway, until you check us out tomorrow at that time, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs and subscribe. Until then, toodles!